according to the cloud. All right. Hello. What's up, everyone? Today we have Knolly Williams, the business healer, on the channel. Knolly empowers business leaders and entrepreneurs to spark growth in their business by reconnecting to their passion and internal drives, and is a former guest of the very well-known Icons of Real Estate podcast, right, Knolly?
Right on the first, baby. Icons of Real Estate. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And is himself one of our most proud icons of real estate. And he comes back to the channel to guide us through why he left Keller Williams Realty. And we know there were quite a few factors that influenced your decision. So we'll try to cover them all by one. But yeah, welcome to the channel, Knolly.
Thank you. I'm going to spill all the dirt today.
Oof, be careful. There might be some beeps happening. All right. So first of all, for our audience, Knolly, I know you very much well, but and I believe some of our audience might as well, but some of them, they might be wondering, who is this guy in Puerto Rico with an amazing microphone speaking, So Knolly, can you tell us a bit about your real estate story?
Yeah, Tomás, I started exactly 20 years ago in real estate. And before that, I was in the hip hop, rap, Christian rap scene. I had a record label, and I was doing really well. I did that in my 20s, but in my 30s, I moved into real estate. I spent 5 years at RE/MAX, 10 years at Keller Williams, and then I've been here at eXp for nearly 5 years, I think it is. I'd have to calculate. I'm definitely into my 4th year here at eXp.
Nice. And yeah, so we'll tackle, one of the stages of your life, right? Those 10 years in Keller Williams. So the first thing, that's on everyone's mind, and it's usually also, the first thing that it's the go-to for the agents is the commission split, right? Because I know I've heard some stories of on Keller Williams that the commission split is actually, it's not the same for everyone. So how does it work?
Well, it does depend on the market center. So since Keller Williams is a franchise, your commission split could be different depending on which office that you join. And I know that a lot of the offices are trying to compete, which is a really good thing to do. And they're lowering their caps, they're lowering their splits. They can't take away the royalty fee or the franchise fee in most cases. The royalty fee can't be taken away. But you got to really know what those numbers truly are, because it can be a little bit deceptive. For example, or confusing, I should say, not deceptive, confusing. Maybe it is deceptive. Who knows? Hey, but the royalty fee at our office was 6%. So if I was on a 70-30 split, really I was on a 64 and not a 70, because 6% was still of every. 6% of the 100% would go to the corporate, for some fee that they, called a royalty fee. Then, of course, there was franchise fees and other fees that were associated with every transaction up to a certain point. So yeah, the split when I was at Keller, when I was there, was 70-30 plus the 6% royalty fee. So it's really 64%. Whereas at eXp is 80-20, very, very smooth, very clear, no hidden fees around that.
Yeah, no small letters, right?
Right.
And did you was there a cap in Keller Williams?
Keller Williams had a cap, and a lot of people don't know this, Tomás, but I was actually recruited to Keller Williams by Gary Keller. I'd had some very successful years at RE/MAX. I was the #1 solo producing agent in Austin, Texas. There was about 9,800 agents when the Austin Business Journal came out with a report. My production was #1 as a solo agent. I did 96 transactions that year, and it was my 4th year in the business. And that's when Gary's office called me and said, "Hey, man, Gary wants to meet with you." And I debated if I should meet with him, but I said, "Hey." My wife and I talked about it. She said, "You're going to go meet with him." I said, "Well, he's just trying to get me to come to Keller Williams. I'm not going to Keller Williams." And she said, "But you still need to, he's a brilliant person, and he is a brilliant guy. you should meet with him. And so I did. It was a 20-minute meeting that ended up going 2 hours. We promised not to do that today in this video, but we hit it off. And the things that I was trying to do at the time, Tomás, which was I wanted to do speaking, teaching, training. I wanted to really do that. I wanted to help people succeed in this business because I was very successful, but I found a lot of my friends in the industry were struggling. And so I would help them. And Keller Williams made a way for me to be able to do that. They opened an opportunity for me to do that, which is also a bigger opportunity now at eXp, of course. So I got a little off track, but the point is, you know, I didn't actually look at, like, it wasn't, the splits and the caps weren't as important to me as being able to really, really have a huge opportunity. And it was a bigger opportunity that Keller Williams had. Now, there was an $18,000 cap at our market center, which is now, interestingly, that cap grew to a $25,000 cap. By the time I left, it was already 25,000 cap. Whereas here at eXp, the cap is 16,000. And it varies at Keller Williams offices because they're independently owned and operated. So literally you could have, I mean, this could happen. You could have 50 agents or 100 agents in an office, and there could be 20 different splits and caps.
Yeah.
Could be the published one, but there could be also some hidden one that somebody else is getting that you don't know about.
And who gets to decide that? Is that the broker?
The powers that be, you know, they live way up there.
Who's out there making these decisions?
A lot of times it's going to be the broker, it's going to be the team leaders, a lot of times the OPs, they call them operating partners, people that are the investors and so on. Because if they really want to, like, for example, when I came to Keller Williams, I didn't have I was on 100% commission for, I don't know, 6 months or so maybe. And that was because they really wanted me as a status symbol. They wanted to recruit me over because they knew that if they got me, the #1 solo agent in Austin, other agents would look like, okay, what's going on over there? And they'd get other people, not necessarily under me, but there'd be more people coming over. And so sometimes it just depends, man. Personally, and this is interesting because when you're in a culture like that, where there's sweetheart deals and there's different deals, it can feel nice when you're the one getting the deal, but it's not so nice when you're not the one getting the deal. And honestly, Tomás, when I came to eXp, I was like, okay, I'm Knolly Williams. Where's my deal? What kind of deal you get? They were like, oh, well, everybody has the same deal. I said, I get that, man. Come on, like, I know, but this is me you're talking to. Let's go into a back room somewhere. Let's make a deal here. They were like, dude, this is the deal. I was like, but that's the deal on paper. I'm talking about what's my deal. And honestly, Tomás, it was a blow to my ego. I got to say that. But I found it like so refreshing that everybody gets the same deal. It's like, it's very refreshing, man, because you don't feel like, okay, this new guy just joined. What did he get? You know, no, it's none of that. It's really, this is what we call integrity. It's the same for everybody. And you can create a better deal by doing more production. That's how you create a better deal.
Yeah. You create a better deal for yourself by making it yourself, right? And yeah,
I'll give you a quick example. Because I have a tendency to talk, right, Tomás? So you might have to chop this up a little. But I had a agent come to me and she's going to do $350,000 in commission this year. And I'm going to coach and help her to get there. And so I said, now you realize that with your $350,000 in commission, you're only paying, I think it was like a 4%. You're paying 4% split to eXp. She's like, what do you mean? I thought it was 80-20. Yes, it's 80-20, but it caps at 16,000. So you're going to make 350,000. And actually, I'm going to coach her to get she's going to make 366,000. She's going to net 350. And if you do the math on that, she's only going to pay about 4% of her commission to eXp. So she's really on a 96-4 split. So I tell people, you know, that's confusing for some to think about it that way, but it's just a different way to look at the numbers. Always look at your goals. And the thing about eXp is that everybody gives you their playbook. everybody, all your senior partners will give you their playbook. Why? Because they want you to be successful. Because when you succeed, everyone else, succeeds. That's in your organization, or that are you're an organization part of. So that's just the way it is, man. And I've never had that in any other company where the guy that's doing, 500 deals a year or 100 million a year, whatever the number is, will share their entire playbook with me. It's never happened before. It's incredible.
Yeah, and it's getting results, right? People feeling motivated to produce more, learning with the top influencers and the top producers in the company. And
yeah, that goes beyond a conversation on cap, because honestly, if the cap is 16,000, but you're going to teach me how, like, I'll give you an example. One gal in our organization, she just closed on a $4.3 million transaction.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so like I could have had the cap conversation with her, but she came to eXp, she catapulted her results. She did a $4 million sale. She's walking away with 160,000 in commission from one deal. Why? Because she's around the kind of people that are showing her how to do that. And you can't put a price tag to that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I think it's something that it's hard to maybe perceive on the other side, right? Once you feel
hard to quantify that. That's actually,
but it is true. Yeah.
Yeah. When you get players, man, your numbers just go up.
Nice. And yeah, another factor, Knolly, is surely the fact that you have Keller Williams brick and mortar original offices versus eXp's cloud-based brokerage. I don't know if this was one of the reasons that you left, but can you tell us a bit more about it?
Yeah, so I've always been a virtual minded. So when I was 23, I started working from home. I'm 53 now, so I've been working from home for 30 years, way before COVID. And it's now a lot of people don't like working that way, Tomás, but it is the future. And I said to myself when I was 23, I said, look, if the president of the United States can work from his house, why can't I? Okay, yeah. That's the question I asked myself. I started working from home, no problem. And here's the thing that it's done for me. So when I was at my previous brokerage, Keller Williams, and I wanted to meet with the team leader. Okay, we had something important to discuss. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Diane's office. All right, so I get in, I get dressed. First, I got to pretty myself up, get my hat on, right? And I got to put a shirt, everything, all that stuff. Then I got to get in my car, drive to the office, find a parking spot, which is very difficult. Okay, Austin traffic. Then I park and I go up the elevator, go to Diane's office. Okay, I'm here for my 3 o'clock appointment. Oh yeah, shoot, Diane had to leave at the last minute. She'll be back tomorrow, but she had something come up. Oh crap. Okay, so now I got to get back in my car, drive back home, go through traffic, boom, boom. Here at eXp, guess what? If I have to meet with my broker, Tony King or Lindsay or any of my brokers, I just get on, I jump on my computer, I open my laptop, step 1. Step 2, I jump on eXp World, and then I walk down the hall, I'm at their office. Done. And guess what? I can have pajama bottom. You don't know what kind of pants I'm wearing. So it doesn't matter, because it's all cloud-based. And that is the future. A lot of people run from the future, but the reality is it's coming for you, whether you run from it or not. Why not embrace it? It's a better way to do business.
Nice. But did you ever feel, I know that you said yourself, you're a virtual man, but it can come to the case that, agents might feel isolation from it. Did you ever feel isolated?
Never. If anything, there's been a lot more collaboration here at eXp than I ever had at my previous brokerage. The thing about it, even when you think about the classes that are being taught. So at my previous brokerage at Keller Williams, we had a lot of agents in the office, but not very many of us wanted to teach classes because we were busy producing. We were doing deals. And so one of the main guys that would train, he did like 5 or 10 transactions a year. And those of us that were doing 100+ transactions a year, like myself, we didn't go to his classes. I mean, he was a good teacher, don't get me wrong, but the guy did 8 deals a year. I mean, but that's the kind of people they could get to teach because that's how, it's a free position. Now here at eXp, guess what? You have to be an icon to get up there and teach. What does that mean? Well, that means you got to be making at least $250,000 a year in commission. to hit that number, right? You'd be doing 30 deals or more before we even let you on stage. So when you think about it, Tomás, the quality of the education is just so much better, and the collaboration is so much better. So and of course, you know, you have to me, it's important, you know, when you have to plug into you know, an organization that is actually has things going on, you know, that's very important. Otherwise you can feel isolated, or sometimes you'll isolate yourself by not plugging in. That
Yeah,
can
and
happen.
what is, and I saw already one of your lessons, right, Knolly, you're a listing legend. Do you want to tell the audience what your lessons are about and maybe where we can find them?
Yeah, so I do a lot of teaching on listings. It's super important that you focus on the listing side of it. You know, you're in real estate, and I actually wrote a few books on it. So I wrote this book right here, Success with Listings. This is
Nice.
430 pages, man. A lot of people wanted to they wanted to see how did you do 1,000 transactions, 1,000 listings during your first 10 years in real estate. And so I wrote it down and share with people how I did that step by step, so that you can become a big lister as well. And this I actually wrote this in 2015, and it's still averaging 5-star reviews on Amazon. So it's a bestseller. And then this other one called Triple My Listings is how to get free seller leads. Okay, not the kind of leads you have to pay for, but free seller leads. I've got 27 methods there. It's called Triple My Listings. And all that stuff is available at Knolly.com. It's on Amazon, but Knolly.com is where everything, you know, Knolly lives. But the point is, my big thing that I like to teach is how to become a listing master. See, when you control the inventory, you control the game, you control the market. I used to play a lot of Monopoly, Tomás, when I was a kid. I mean, I'm talking about a lot of Monopoly. And we had games, bro, that would go for 2 or 3 days. What we would do is we would take 2 or 3 Monopoly sets, we'd stack all the money, okay? And then we would have these long marathons where we play like 3 hours one day and play 2 hours the next and 3 hours the next until I won. Yeah, that's the game is. But the reality is, for me, when you study the game, you're like, okay, what is this game about? Okay, well, the game is about acquiring property. Okay, well, what does that mean? Well, you got to do it. You have to have sets of properties. You have to have them all 3 in the same color. So you have a monopoly of that color. And then you got to put hotels on them eventually. You know, you start with 1 house, then 2, then 3, then 4, then you end up with a hotel. And man, you're just robbing people. And when they land on you, they're out. So you figure out the game. Well, the real estate game is not hard to figure out. Listings, LISTING, that's the game. So a lot of people get in this game, and I don't know what game they're playing, Tomás, but it's not the game that's on the board. They're not playing the game that was designed. And they get in, they're working with buyers first time, this and that, and that's cool. It's nice, but you know, listings is the game, and that's the reason why when I got in this business, I started with listings from day one. And eXp just has a beautiful platform for you to be able to list homes, market them, and really the amount of time that you spend per transaction is going to be minuscule compared to what you might currently be spending with all the technology we have.
Yeah, in all this knowledge, I'm just imagining you on your coaching sessions. An agent comes in, you take out the monopoly, and I was like, okay, let's see who's gonna win. Okay. Let me tell you about the game.
What's your game? Tell me, break the game down to me. Yeah, but once you learn the game, a lot of people have been playing this game for 10, 15 years, and they come to me for coaching. I'm like, what game are you playing? Because I don't know what that game is. Let me tell you how this game works, you know? And when you switch strategies, honestly, you start winning, man, and it feels really good.
Nice. Other factor that I wanted to tackle on, and this is something that myself, even trying to understand or trying to explain someone, I always had struggle with, because Keller Williams also as the profit share program,
Yeah.
right? Versus the eXp revenue share model. So how is this different?
That's not even in the same stratosphere. Everybody, all of us that are entrepreneurs and business owners know the difference between profit and revenue. Okay, profit is the bottom number. That's what I turn into IRS. Okay, revenue is the top number, what it starts off being. Okay, so this year, let's say for example, this year you made 400,000, but to IRS you made 70,000. Okay, after all expenses, whatever. And honestly, these offices are not very profitable, man. I don't want to put them down, but they're just not. I get profit share checks, $6 here, $20 there, $25 there. I mean, I don't know what you can do with that money. I can't even rent a movie with that money. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, I go to I'm like, man, you want $12 to rent that movie? Like, I'm going to wait till you get, like that, but the reality is, last month, eXp paid me 18,000. Okay. It's like night and day, man. It's a whole different stratosphere. And, we make billions and billions of dollars here at this company, and we pay out billions in rev share. So, I mean, if we make, so here's the thing, 50% of all the revenue, okay, this is mind blowing. 50% of all the revenue that comes into eXp is paid out through revenue share. So for every $1 billion that we have come in, we pay out 500 million to agents like me and you. So, I mean, that's just something it's unbeatable, man. I had a guy, Tomás, today, he's talking about, he's at Keller Williams, and he's like, he's disgruntled with Keller Williams. He's ready to go. Now, I was never upset with Keller Williams. I loved Keller Williams up to the day I left. I still love the company. But I could not, loyalty only has a certain length of a rope, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, am I going to be loyal to my wife and my legacy, my family, my grandkids, or am I going to be loyal to Gary? I love Gary, but we don't have it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, and honestly, the reason I left was because after seeing everything that eXp offered, I was out of integrity to stay where I was. I was completely out of integrity. And so for me, the revenue share has been, I mean, it's just been life-changing, man. I'm already making over $250,000 a year. That soon is going to be $500,000. It's going to be over $1 million a year. And there's no, I had a guy today, I was just getting ready to tell you this. He told me, he says, Knolly, he's disgruntled with Keller Williams. I never was, but he is. He said, man, I'm weighing my options. I said, oh, you have options? I said, man, I got to know what options you're weighing, because I've never seen anything like eXp. What options are you weighing? What's keeping you where you are? He just laughed. He was like, well, I kind of like the people in my office. Okay, I like people too, but if those people are going to pay me, $250,000 a year, I like them even more. I like people. And he was like, well, it's just, the whole idea of leaving, that's all. I said, look, you're weighing your options. If you find a better option than eXp, I need you to tell me about it, because I've been asking anybody to show me a better on paper. Okay. And whenever I take all the personality profile tests, they say that I should have been an engineer. That's the way I think. Okay. That would be my perfect role. But when I've looked at everything, all the spreadsheets and everything, I can't find anything like this out there. So when people say they're weighing, I'm like, what options are you weighing? Let me know about those options, man, because I've never seen anything like what you have access to here at eXp. And he asked me, he says, about production. I said, if you're only doing production, you should be here. But if you're doing production and attraction, you definitely should be here. Yeah. It's just superior in every way.
Yeah, no, and you're an absolute rock star for paving us the way to understand that better. And yeah, I want to say thank you very much for your time in the sake of Icons of Real Estate and bringing one of my favorite icons back on stage. I would say the icon stage. and yeah, and chat to you soon. And all the best for you, Knolly.
Yeah, and keep that open, Tomás. If anybody can show you something better, man, let's see it. Let's see it, because I haven't seen it.
I'm waiting.
And we don't say that facetiously. We're not cocky, arrogant, proud, boastful. Sometimes my ego gets the better of me, But the reality is, I'm a seeker, man. I've been an entrepreneur for 30 years. I want to see other things that are better. We've constantly gotten better since I've been here, and you know, you got to check it out. You got to at least look. I didn't want to look at it, Tomás. I'm going to be honest with you. I did not want to see the eXp model. I didn't want to know anything about it. I didn't want to press play and watch it. But once I did, man, I couldn't look my wife in the eye and stay where I was. I knew for a fact that if I had kept this from her and just stayed where I was because I was comfortable there, and then let's say a year passed, and she's like, wait a minute, we could have had that, man, I might have seen some papers in the mail, bro. No. I had to be straight with her. I said, look, this is what it is. She's like, well, what is there a question in there? Like, obviously, we should go over here. Like, duh. So yeah. Anyway, thank you, Tomás, for your time. Love you, brother, and keep up the good work.
Thank you very much, Knolly. See you. It's done.